Welcome back. Water and Sanitation Minister Senzo Mchunu has given an update on the state of water and sanitation to mark 1 year in his office. There are areas in KZN that haven't had water for months following the April floods, and beaches in eThekwini have been affected by sewage spillages. Mchunu says there is an issue around capacity that needs to be addressed. For more, reporter Manqoba Mchunu joins us now live to just give us a brief summary, Manqoba, of what the minister said exactly today in terms of our challenges. We've seen, for instance, Nelson Mandela Bay basically almost reaching day zero.
Well, certainly, Masiho, the minister admitting that, in fact, it hasn't been that easy for the past 12 months. He says that, of course, there have been some challenges. As far as some of the issues are concerned, you'd know, Masiho, that this is one of the departments that have been plagued by issues of projects not being completed. When we talk about such projects, you'll be reminded, Masiho, of the Giyani water project, which we know has, been stalling for the past over 10 years for now. Less than 10 years, about 8 years for now, Masiho, which was meant to take off in 2014. But up until now, we know that that project has not been completed. So he says that one of the bigger issues, of course, is the issue of projects that are incomplete, that have not been completed. Some of them have simply been abandoned. And the bigger problem, of course, is the issue of the lack of, resources within the department, the lack of capabilities within the department to finish some of these projects, and he says that, in some other instances, you'll find that there's simply not enough money when it comes to funding some of these projects. But he says that, of course, these are issues that his department is looking into. He says that the communities should bear with the department. They are doing their best to try and address these issues. And, of course, he says that they are also looking at ways in which they can try and minimize the impact to the people that are being affected by the issues of water. But, of course, on the issue of I also spoke about that issue, the concerns around day zero that is looming in that area, saying that as a department, they are working with that municipality to try and avert day zero. But Masiho, I'm not sure whether we do have a clip of the minister just explaining the issue around Gqeberha, and perhaps we can listen to what the minister had to say when it comes to that particular issue.
Unfortunately, Manqoba, we don't have any of the snippets of what the minister said there in Pretoria today. But I saw yet another minister who was there as well, David Mahlobo. What did he say about some of the challenges that we face as a country when it comes to the fact that, as they keep saying in these past years as government, we're a water-scarce country? What is he saying about our challenges?
Well, Masiho, one of the issues that the Deputy Minister had raised is, of course, the issue of water that is being stolen. He says that there is quite a number of, issues when it comes to water being stolen, but also the issue of water leakages and the issue of shortages. We find that in some communities that are water scarce, people are simply using water as if there is no issues in those communities. So he spoke at length about people, saying that people should mind, especially people like the people in Gqeberha should know that there are issues of water scarcity. So you can't expect communities to use water as if they do have running water or efficient water in those communities. And I also heard Minister Mchunu speaking about the fact that when you go to areas like Gqeberha, you find people, showering as if they have water. You find people washing cars as if they have water. So these are some of the things that they say communities should bear in mind. They are asking for people to keep in mind that water scarcity is an issue in this particular country. But of course, he says that there are quite a few interventions that the water department will be looking into, and some of those include the issue of wastewater, treating wastewater to be usable. Also, the issue of desalination in some of those coastal areas is one of the issues they'll be looking into. But of course, they say that this will need partnerships with the private sector to try and see to some of these projects. And it's projects that the department says are in the pipeline and things that they are working on. It's not things that will happen in just a short space of time, but they have asked and appealed to residents to ensure that they use water sparingly, more especially in those areas that have been affected, including the Eastern Cape.
And in fact, Manqoba, the team has been able to just put together a snippet of what the minister said, particularly about Gqeberha. Let's just take a listen.
The other context is that of drought, 7-year drought in Gqeberha, which we are looking at with day zero always knocking around on our door. But we're working well, and we've worked very well with the municipality there and the Eastern Cape government, provincial government, to avert up to now. So if you ask us, have we been able to avert day zero, we are saying at least up to the time we went to sleep last night, up to 12 midnight, there was no day zero. And we're battling it today from early morning. And we're hoping that we will have another day without day zero in Gqeberha. It's a day-to-day struggle with day zero, but it's looking at us in the eye. We're looking at it in the eye.
They're looking at it in the eye, he says, Manqoba, but at some point he spoke about a certain area where he was and it was raining and he started celebrating, but they let him know that it's actually not an area that needs the rain. Just tell us more about that statement.
Indeed, Masiho, and just how dire the situation is currently in the Eastern Cape. The minister saying that most of the dams there are dry, and in fact they've now had to even stop obstructing water from those particular dams because of the critical levels of the dam. So he says there've been quite a number of interventions, and when in fact he spoke to that issue, Masiho, he was just referring to the fact that on one of the days where they'd gone to Gqeberha just to see how bad the situation was and to try and intervene as a department. That's when he had, seen rain falling in Gqeberha, and they were of the view that perhaps, this will ease, some of the issues when it comes to the water levels, and that the water, some of the dams could actually recoup much needed water in that province. But he says that he was told that, in fact, the rain is only, raining in the city itself, not in the mountains where these, dams are located. And so it was such, a devastation to him. But he does say, Masiko, that the issue is quite critical in that particular province. And again, the message is to residents to use water sparingly, because he says up until now, they have been able to avert day zero. But this, of course, is a short-term solution. We do know that there was a drought, but there are other measures that the minister says they are looking into in terms of trying to deal with that particular issue.
All right, Manqoba Mchunu, live for us in Pretoria. Let's leave it there for now.